Hello out there, and welcome back to Beacon Pines. My name is Eric Haverkamp with Perspective Gaming, and we're about to have a nice dinner with a friend we met in another timeline. So let's see what we end up learning this time. This time we got away from the warehouse ourselves, so Rollo wasn't captured and doesn't even know about it yet. And now we have to progress down this timeline and see how we die horribly while uncovering more words.
Ilona Moodwell was worried about change. A gardener at heart, she understood the necessity of change, relied on it even. But there was a difference between the controlled world of her plants and this cluttered cottage in a strange town. Almost done. Nellie was a blur of activity, digging through boxes. Sorry, love, couldn't find the dishes. We'll have to make do with paper plates. Dinner went by without much conversation. As she watched Beck and Luca finish up their pizza, Ilona let herself relax into the chair. The things she cared about were still here. Nellie finally had the job of her dreams. Beck was beginning to take root. Ilona's task was simply to tend to them. She could do that.
Interesting that was more focused on one of the moms than... So Luca, tell us a bit about yourself. Where do you live? Oh, I live with my grandma. Over on the other side of the river. Your grandma? Where are your parents at? Beck, manners. It's all right. My dad passed away in an accident at the fertilizer plant 6 years back. Oh dear. My mom's been missing for a few months now. Like missing?
Luca's eyes were fixed to his plate, pushing a chunk of pineapple around with his finger. Nellie was the one who eventually broke the silence.
Luca, how did you like the pizza? Oh, it was good. Very good. Normally we'd have put more effort into dinner.
Ilona nervously gestured toward the boxes.
We aren't fully settled in, and Beck mentioned that it's your favorite. I'm sorry, we skipping the part where he said his mom was missing? Beck? I'm sorry, Luca. This moves us all a little tired.
Luca wiped his face with his sleeve.
No, it's fine. So Beck said you moved here for work?
Beck gave Luca a swift kick under the table.
Ow. I mean, what brought you to Beacon Pines? Oh, you were right the first time. We are here for work. Nellie won't tell you this, but she's a brilliant chemist. I don't know about brilliant, but I do love it. She's brilliant. Perennial Harvest just made her the newest lead researcher of deep engineering. She makes it sound more impressive than it is. I'm just happy to that I get to make a difference in the world. Perennial Harvest is the forefront of evolving agriculture into something more Wow, I can't read today. Into something more useful than sprinkling water and excrement on the ground.
Luca glanced over to Beck. She seemed to be holding her breath.
What Nellie means, Luca, is that there are different ways to grow plants. Yes, some people talk to their plants and hope for the best. And some people happily leave their jobs to allow a loved one to pursue their dream. You swore you didn't...
Beck slammed her fist into the table. Perhaps harder than she intended.
Hey, Luca. How about some dessert? I actually have to meet my friend Rollo soon.
Luca glanced outside to gauge the time. The sky was darker than he expected, filled with ominous clouds.
Looks like there's a storm brewing. I should get going. Oh, I didn't think there was any rain in the almanac. Yeah, almanacs aren't that useful around here.
Luca wiped his mouth one last time with his napkin and started to get up.
Thank you all for the pizza. It really was good. See you at the festival, Beck. Wait up. I'll walk you home.
Surprised, Luca turned around. He knew Rollo could be prickly around new people. But Beck seemed cool. Rollo would warm up to her eventually. Probably.
Luca began to respond. The sky answered for him as the clouds above began to... We're getting to a choice really early this time. Rumble or break? Well, rumble would mean thunder. Break would mean water, I assume. Like it would start to rain. So I'll go with thunder, because rain is less likely to cause the staff to split up, I feel.
Luca began to respond, but the sky answered for him as the clouds above began to rumble with ominous thunder.
You sure we can make it home before this storm kicks off?
Luca surveyed the roiling clouds.
I'd say the odds are good. Maybe you should stay here and I'll just make a break for it.
At that moment, the heavens opened up, unleashing torrential rain.
You had to recalculate those odds? Hurry inside before you two catch cold. Luca, Nellie will keep trying to reach your gran on the phone. In the meantime, you two hold tight. Sorry, not much to do up here. Most of my stuff's in the boxes. Mind if I poke around? Be my guest. Oh wow. Rolo and I have a radio just like this at the treehouse. Probably not exactly like this one. My mom and I tore the whole thing down to bolts. Did it with some state-of-the-art vacuum tubes. She seems pretty awesome. She gets carried away sometimes. I think she feels guilty for working too much. So when she does have time for me, she showers me with high-tech overcompensation.
Luca flicked at one of the toggles.
We can get all sorts of stations on this. Not out here in the boonies. You wouldn't believe the stuff I could pick up back in the city. But around here, it's all farm reports and static. Aw, shucks.
Luca bent down to examine the bouquet of wilting flowers. Judging by the odor, they were well past their prime. He flipped open the attached card.
Happy trails from Coach Walker and all of the Fairview Condors? Boy, you weren't kidding around poking around, huh? Kidding the babble around, huh? Oh, sorry, was this from your old school? The most recent one, yeah. Some of the schools give me going away cards. Some did flowers. When they're really trying to feel good about themselves, they do both. So you've moved a lot. Yeah, that's the thing with having a brilliant parent. They're always better job somewhere else. Okay, so I've been saying two moms. Sounds like it might be mom and a non-binary folk. Not sure. That sounds like where it is, though. These flowers would last longer if you put them in some water. That's the sort of thing I would do if I cared. Well, you cared enough to keep them is all.
Luca squinted into the eye hole of the microscope.
This looks wild. What is it? Gum. Gum?
Luca adjusted the slide with his fingers to get a better look.
I'm tracking the structural integrity of gum with increasing amounts of chewing. Chewed that one for 47 days.
Luca wiped his hand off on his sweater and gave a nervous laugh.
It's weird, I know.
Beck looked down, timidly tapping the ladder with her feet.
You think it's weird, don't you? Oh, a little. But weird can be cool. Luca, can I ask you something? Of course. Ooh, 3-point landing. Dang, didn't that hurt? I'll be honest. That hurt more than I expected. I think I need to go to the hospital. Please call 911. Well, at least you look cool doing it.
Beck took a moment to watch the rivulets of water running down the window.
You ever feel alone? Like even when people are around? Well, Rolo can be pretty absent-minded sometimes. I'm serious. You really bully Rolo a lot, kid. It's not good. Does it ever feel like your family doesn't care what you want? It didn't used to feel that way. I know Gran loves me, but sometimes when she looks at me, it's like she's looking at a problem.
Luca took a deep breath, exhaling slowly.
I know the feeling. How do you deal with that? I guess I haven't yet. But one thing my dad told me when I was little, Don't hold a grudge, especially against yourself. If you try to hold it all in, you're gonna pop. So then, what do? When you don't know what to do? Dad never got to that part. Sometimes I figured out... Something I figured out on my own, though. You gotta do something. Anything. Here. What are you doing? I don't know, something. We're gonna register our complaints with the storm. Listen here, you miserable universe. Stop jerking me around. I just want things to go back to the way they were. Everyone tells me it's gonna be alright. That things are gonna change.
Luca let out a feral scream that echoed into the night.
Every time something changes, everything gets worse. Screw this town. Whoa. Let me try. Moving sucks. I hate it. I hate it. I hate it. Why can't I just deal with it and be happy for my mom? Why can't we just stay somewhere? Ah!
Her voice dropped to
Again.
a trembling whisper.
Just want to be a normal kid.
Beck brushed off her shirt and straightened up.
There. Wow, I actually feel a little better.
As abruptly as it began,
I wonder if
the
like
storm
someone's
abated.
outside there and we learned that in another timeline or something. Thanks, I needed that. Me too. I should head out before the rain starts up again. Sure, I'll walk you out. See you and Rolo at the festival? Sounds good. Luca? Don't let the universe jerk you around.
Beck gave Luca a light thump on the arm before heading in.
Cute.
Chapter 5.
Alright, that was quick.
Friendly feud. The air was heavy with the hard rain's residue, the smell of wet things. Despite his dreary surroundings, Luca felt at peace. He'd never shared those details about his dad with anyone, not even Rollo. But it's not like this changed anything. Rollo was still his best friend. Adding Beck to the group would help balance things out. Everything's better in threes. This is what Luca told himself as he headed to the treehouse.
Uh-oh. Hey! Hey, Don. Tracking down a lead? You bet! I heard a juicy new rumor. Turns out when Sharper Valentine died, he left behind the peculiar last will and testament. Peculiar how? He didn't just give his kids any an inheritance. There were conditions. Like what? Well, they had to spend the night in a haunted house. The document stipulated that Eris had to take on a child as her ward. A kid our age who just showed up town one night with a lawyer. Solomon. Bingo! So Eris was forced to take care of him? Yep, or she would have lost everything. So would Sharper have... So why would Sharper care so much about some random kid? Rumor has it old Sharper sowed some wild oats. That explains why the way Eris treats him. Poor Solomon. How'd you find all this out? The good reporter never reveals his source, her source, Luca. That was an abrupt ending to a conversation. Cool bioluminescent mushrooms. Is that more green gunk under there? Sure hope not. All right, what's our fortune, lady? He met his old friend's eyes and was greeted with nothing but ice-cold anger. Heavens, this is no time for fractured friendships. They had a lot of fun with you, huh? I'm so curious about why the light's on, but I know it'll just be the video again, and that'll have been the third time I'd have watched it. Can't go that way. Gonna explore. It's not gonna stop me from exploring, even if it thinks I shouldn't. Aha! See, I explore. Up at Dawn Newsstand. Cute. Excuse me, what are you doing? Just locking up for the night, sir. Oh, wonderful. I can only assume this means all festival preparations have been completed ahead of schedule. Not exactly, sir. The storm set us back a bit and it's getting late, so we all decided to... You all decided? Yes, sir. I was unaware that your job involved deciding things. We are all here at Perennial Harvest because we believe in creating the better future, yes? Yes, sir, very much, sir. Do you want to be the one that tells this town we failed them? No? That we all gave up and there's a little rainstorm and we all got sleepy? Of course not, sir. Good, then it's decided. Yes, sir, we'll work till the task is done. See that you do. Our harvest awaits. Well, they have just a small amount more backbone than I would have guessed, honestly. I kind of assumed that they were, like, literally just, like, mindless clones. And, like, yeah, they're following orders, but that's more than I expected. Yeah, I got it. I figured, but I thought I'd check. Been a little while. Any new words?
Luca wrapped a twig of thyme around the hook. Some fish have refined taste.
Hey-oh. Put in time, get out time. Property of Sharper Valentine. Figures. If he had his way, property of Sharper Valentine would be written on everything in this town. Should we give it back to him? He may not even want it back. Man's got a contentious relationship with time. We'll keep it here in case he ever wants to pick it up. Looks like we got maybe one or two more of those to go. Which is surprising, given that it doesn't feel like we're that close to the end. Rolo, are you still up there? I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Rolo isn't accepting visitors at the moment. Come back never.
Luca had only ever heard him speak in this stiff yet gentle tone a few times, and it always meant one thing.
You're upset. Oh, what makes you say that? Maybe because my best friend abandoned me for no reason. I didn't abandon you. I'm just a little late.
Rolo scoffed.
The rain held me up. Liar. You weren't even home. What? Storm got bad and I got worried, so I went looking for you. Imagine my surprise when I made it to your house and you weren't there. I hadn't made it back yet. I'm not a fool, Luca. Doesn't take all day to deliver some jam. No, that storm rolled in out of nowhere. I got stuck in after dinner at Beck's hut.
Luca stumbled on his words, knowing he'd said too much.
Beck? Dinner? The heck is a Beck? She's a new kid in town. She's actually kind of cool. You'd like her. She needed help convincing her parents that she'd made new friends. New friends? I spent all day waiting for you. You were off making new friends? It's not like that, Rolo. You know? When I was waiting, I made some upgrades to mission control. It was gonna be a surprise. You took so long, the storm knocked it all down. Just like you knocked down our friendship. What does that even mean?
Luca became instinctively angry in response. Both boys were now shouting across the distance.
Means you're a bad friend. You don't care about me. Of course I care, you ass. I knew I'd get in trouble if we're waiting for you so late for you. But I kept my word. 'Cause that's what friends do. Oh wow, what a noble sacrifice you made. Easy for you to say. Your grand doesn't even care. You can stay out as long as you want. You won't even get in trouble. Seriously? You're acting like I chose this? If that's what you think, then maybe you're the bad friend.
Rolo's tone changed to a calm, yet more intense anger.
Maybe Pa's right. Storm bring more than weather. This one brought out the real Luca. Stop quoting your Pa's nonsense like it means anything. Yeah, well, at least my Pa's still around.
The words hung in the cold night air. Rolo's stomach dropped, knowing he'd crossed a line. But it was too late.
Luca, Good night, Rollo. Dang it. Wow. Wonder how the weather changes.
Luca dug through his old stuff, not even sure what he was looking for.
What a jerk. Do I get a word for kicking? Call me a bad friend. Oh, I'm Rollo. Look at me, I have phasing family. Well, this is fun. Do I not get a word or anything? Guess not. Rollo thinks I'm going to the festival with him. He can shove it. Guess I'm just never supposed to make new friends. Luca?
Gran cooed gently from the hallway.
You slept straight through breakfast. Luca, are you alright? I'm fine. Just don't feel like getting up yet. Okay, I'll leave my oatmeal by the door. I've got to run out and take care of some things. Okay, I'll be back later to check in. Sure.
Luca just wanted to be alone. He waited to hear the sound of the front door closing.
But Rollo's still going to the festival. He's gonna be miserable. Wonder what horrible thing happens at the festival that I'm missing out on. You can shove it.
Luca dozed off again.
Luca, I see you didn't eat your oatmeal. Wasn't hungry. Well, just in case you get hungry, I'll leave a sandwich here too. Thanks. Rollo came by. What did he say? He wanted to talk to you. What did you say? I told him you weren't feeling well. Good. So what's your plan? Is it just to sit in your room all day? Pretty much. Well, I need to pop away again for a minute. If you decide to end your pity party and go outside, I think it'd do you some good. Noted.
Luca still couldn't bring himself to go out. Besides, if he ran into Rollo, he'd have to actually confront the situation.
There's never anything interesting at the festival anyway. Good of them to give me the heads up about what they wanted from me. Come on, I gotta get... Nope, come on. Yeah.
The Adventures of Hank Atomic.
Complete first volume.
Luca carefully opened the cover and began to read. Rollo had received it for his birthday, a special hardcover edition with behind-the-scenes commentary and bonus art. Rollo cherished it, but asked that Luca keep it at his house. Luca wasn't sure if it was because Rollo didn't trust himself with it, didn't trust his sister around it, or just wanted an excuse to come hang out at Luca's more often. Whatever the reason, Luca didn't mind, but it had stayed right there where Rollo had stashed it ever since. Now, at the foot of his bed, Luca lost himself in the pages. He'd read it all before, but at this moment, it somehow felt sentimental. He was well into issue number 5 when he heard soft footsteps from the hallway.
I do worry about Rollo's family. Pa in particular. Luca? Another little friend came to see you. Girl named Beck Mudwill. She said you'd met yesterday. What did she say? Is she here? She was just dropping by. I told her you weren't taking visitors today. Oh, she seems nice. Yeah. You had a fight with Rollo, didn't you? Can I come in? Maybe later. All right then. I'll leave dinner on the kitchen table, in case you want a bite before bedtime.
Without realizing it, Luca had pouted away the entire afternoon. He once again felt the weight of it all and allowed his weary eyes to close. Luca stood in a vast black expanse. He looked up at his father standing beside him. Walt was working a straw at the bottom of a fountain glass, trying to collect the last bits of milkshake. Dad? Where are we? Taking a final loud gurgling sip, his father peered up from the glass. He jangled the straw playfully with a warm smile, then lifted the empty glass as if to point into the darkness. The source? Luca's eyes followed his father's gesture.
Alrighty then.
In an instant, he was sitting in front of a blazing campfire. Across from him sat a large figure in a yellow hazmat suit. The figure's voice was a scratchy echo. Well, if it isn't the man of the hour. Make yourself comfortable. Luca held his shivering hands over the flame to warm himself. It doesn't work that way here. Their yellow-gloved hand pointed to the base of the flame. It's a cold flame. See? Luca peered at the base of the fire. It wasn't wood that was burning. It was Beacon Pines itself.
All right.
Tiny buildings, freezing and crumbling as they were consumed by flame. Luca could see small shadows moving in the burning
So that's
city.
the second dream sequence we've had with ice themes.
People. Luca leapt to his feet.
Just think it's interesting, making note.
We've got to help them. The figure gave a dismissive wave of their hand. Why waste energy helping people who can't even help themselves? The figure bent down to examine the panicked crowd as they desperately tried to stop the flames. They only care about what's right in front of them, not like us. Luca's voice was a trembling whisper. Us? The figure slowly stood up, grabbing its helmet with both hands. With a jolt and a twist, the suit emitted a gasp. A cloud of torpid mist escaped, slowly revealing the face within. Luca's own face looked back at him.
Just like Star Wars.
Older, worn, distant. The sensation was oddly familiar, as if he'd caught his own reflection by surprise in the mirror. The doppelganger smiled. I tried to help once. He gestured towards his face. And all it got me was this. Luca staggered back. You aren't me. Luca felt a hand catch his shoulder. His father was there again, beside him. Every choice sets us on a path. This is the end of one of your paths, son. Luca watched his older self shake its head ruefully, its face twisting into a cruel grin. Welp, Dad. If you wanted him to see this, far be it from me to disappoint. Luca watched in shock as the figure took a confident step forward and plunged into the flames in a flash of cold light. He was gone.
Interesting.
What does all of this mean?
It seems like it's a hint at possible choices.
Luca felt a reassuring squeeze on his shoulder. Just remember, why we choose matters just as much as what we choose. Luca woke up to see a hazy figure at the foot of his bed, silhouetted in the morning sun.
Mom? No, dear. It's only Gran.
Luca rubbed his eyes. The kind, concerned face of his gran came into focus.
How are you feeling? Fine? Anything you want to talk about? I don't feel like talking. That's just as well. I hate you anyways. How about you sit there and listen a bit? Whatever you and Rollo fought about doesn't matter. But
Gran silenced Luca with a gentle pat on the leg.
Fights between friends happen. What was said doesn't matter. The important thing is that it's not the last thing you ever say to each other. But he said stuff about Dad. Well, do you think he meant it? No. He was just mad. And did you mean any of the things you said to him? No. Good. One must appreciate friends in their best moments and accept them in their worst. Now get your little butt out of bed. Festival's today. You don't want to miss that, do you? Oh, festival's today. I was wrong about the days. I guess not. Seems like a good opportunity to make amends with Rollo, doesn't it?
Luca gave a reluctant nod.
So buy him a corn dog and apologize. But he's the one that... What did I just say? Buy him a corn dog. That's a good boy. Everything's better with corn dogs. I need to get going now. Got some last-minute festival business to take care of. I'll come find you at the fountain a little after lunch. All right. I love you, Luca. I love you too.
Luca took a deep breath.
Okay.
Chapter 6. Through thick and thin. Despite Luca's bitterness, Gran was right. He needed to hash things out with Rollo. A big fight changes the nature of a friendship. Whether, in the end, it is for the better or for the worse, all comes down to understanding. If one is not careful, the same familiarity that builds the strongest of bonds can become the wrecking ball that shatters them. Luca emerged from seclusion, taking in the crisp festival air, but the events of the day weren't on his mind. He had to find Rollo.
I'm sure that nothing terrible is gonna happen today. I'm sure that this isn't going to be a war crime that kills me. La la la. There you are. Luca? Rollo wanted me to tell you something. What is it?
Roxy rolled her eyes, shaking her head.
A space adventure, though you needn't buy it. If ye brave, go somewhere quiet. Oh, Roxy, I don't. It's a riddle, Luca. My goofy little brother wants you to find him.
Luca looked down and kicked at the dirt.
Look, I know you two had a fight. The only thing more annoying than my little brother is my little brother without his best friend. So I'm doing him this one favor. Now I need you to go one favor from you. Whatever it went down between you two, squash it. That's going to be the library then. Unique New York. Unique New York. Huh? Oh, don't mind me. Just warming up for my big ceremony speech.
Mr. Kerr pointed to his grinning mouth.
Gotta limber up the old gab box. You nervous? Oh, heavens, no. Well, break a leg. Give me the gift. I didn't quite read that. I don't know who Perennial Harvest thinks they're impressing with this ridiculous festival. Totally. The town's still falling apart. Weather's still cruddy. This season's harvest looks like it's going to be worse than last year's. You said it. No amount of corporate pandering is going to change any of that. Exactly. But lemonade at the drink stand over there does look pretty tasty. Fits. I'm still going to be mad at them. I'd just rather be mad while sipping some delicious lemonade is all. Welcome to our festival. Don't forget to come back later for Mr. Kerr's speech. And the festival reveal sign reveal. And the Perennial Harvest and the Perennial Harvest Festival sign reveal. You don't want to miss it. How goes the beetle hunt? Pretty rotten. I haven't seen so much as the exuviae. And it's not just the beetles. This morning I couldn't find any critters at all. It's like everything that buzzes or skitters just packed up and left, probably because of all the toxins that are going to kill us at this event. I'm sure they're out there somewhere. Maybe all the commotion of the festival just spooked them. Yeah, maybe that's it. You hear? After Mr. Kerr gives his big speech, they're going to have the first annual big catch competition. As long as a boot qualifies as a catch, I'm a shoo-in. Good luck. It's not here. I know it's not there. I could explore a little more, but I don't think I'm going to be missing anything. Ain't moving.
Jeff was staring into the distance with a wistful look.
Hey, Jeff, everything all right? Yeah, everything's fine. I mean, used to be fine. Just ain't right these days, you know? I really do, actually.
Jeff turned to Luca with a furrowed brow, then gave an understanding nod.
You do, don't you?
For a moment, the two now shared that same wistful gaze.
Every single time. Yup. Wait for it. Unexplained sound once again noted. Like clockwork. What a bunch of drones. I like the balloons hanging from the trash can lid. Something very poetic about that. Most welcoming of welcomes. Would you like to share your thoughts? We always strive to improve. Nope. This is the first time I've seen this many smiling faces since the foul harvest. I had my doubts about perennial harvest, but I must admit they do put on a nice party. Alright, what's the future hold for us? No! No! My oracle! No! Piper, you're actually taking a break from studying? I wanted to see what all the festival fuss is about. But I can't help but notice, you still brought a backpack full of books? Luca, backpacks can carry a lot more than just books. True, true. So what you got in there? Books. Didn't need to read that to know what was coming. I was able to return to the perennial harvest safety suit you borrowed. Don't think anyone noticed. Good. Now will you tell me what you needed it for? It was a favor for an enemy of my enemy. This isn't going to harm Mr. Kerr, is it? All you need to know is that it's for the good of the family. I absolutely will be hurting Mr. Kerr. Probably with toxins. Hey, Luca. How's Griffin doing? What? Oh, nothing.
Sorry all became flesh.
Just pretend I didn't say anything. Luca, did you know that Beacon Pines is actually unincorporated? A lot of people don't know that. Yeah, wow, I didn't know. What's that mean? It means most public works are handed in internally. We do all the pipelines, the water treatment, building regulations. That's great. Census taking. Hey, emergency services. Okay, so it's unincorporated territory, so it's not part of a big city. Which is interesting, because that means that the companies probably have a lot of power. Hey, Luca. So you're done at the library? Huh? Oh, nothing.
Griffin looked away suspiciously.
Nothing at all. Okay, alright. That's funny. They're having me do stuff in the wrong order if you explore for his riddle. That's fun. I got a question for you. What do you think this whole festival is for? Well, yeah, I figure it. Perennial Harvest is trying to win the new town over. It's like a bribe, but with balloons. Cynical. I like where your head's at. That's what I assumed at first, too, until I eavesdropped on a couple of gossipy clipboards. What if he told you this whole thing is really a special shindig for a super secret guest of honor? A special guest? Who? Satan! I haven't dug that deep yet, but whoever it is, PH thinks they're a big deal. God, she's great. Somewhere quiet. Yeah, I figured. Hi, Jace. Still working through the newest Hank Atomic? You know it. Some fascinating canon towards the end. Did you know Hank Atomic's Shrinko Array doesn't technically shrink stuff? It uses inverse quantum particle decay to literally grow the entire universe around an object, leaving that object unaltered. So it just looks shrunk compared to everything else. Well, actually, relativistically speaking, that's kind of how everything works. Relativity means that things might seem to change one way for us, but in another point of view, they change in a different way. Bingo! That's wild. But Jace, no spoilers, please. Oh, right, sorry. Hey, Luca.
Kato's eyes lit with excitement.
I've been expecting you. Bravo on deciphering the first riddle. Riddle me this achievement, Batman! The first... Oh, you didn't think that was all, did you? Rollo does go all out, doesn't he?
Kato straightened up and cleared his throat as if preparing to sing.
Ahem. On planet Farpole, you may take issue When the fifth king dies, you'll need a tissue.
Kato stared at Luca eagerly.
Get it? Want me to tell you? No, it's okay. Let me figure it out. All right, when you find it, bring it here to be verified. And if you decide you want a hint, the offer still stands.
Luca grabbed the 5 pillars of success from the shelf.
No, I don't.
Luca grabbed The Issue with Self-Help, a helpful guide. Luca grabbed 500 meals for one big...
No.
Luca grabbed The Modern Science of Atomic Radiation from the...
Cool, but no.
Luca grabbed Natural Photography, volume... Luca grabbed The Adventures of Hank Atomic, issue number 4, from the shelf.
That seems more likely. So what do we have here? The Adventures of Hank Atomic? I'm afraid that's not the correct book. Okay, here's a hint. Words I emphasize are important. When Planet Farpool, you may take issue. When the fifth king dies, you'll need a tissue. 5th issue.
Luca grabbed The Adventures of Hank Atomic.
See, I knew, but I didn't. Whatever.
Kato removed his book from the desk and replaced it with Luca's, turning on the lamp. As he slid the book under the purple light, 2 words glowed.
This is extravagant.
The Adventures of Hank Atomic, issue 5. Luca clicked his tongue with recognition.
Rollo's cipher pen. He used it to write secret messages everywhere with that. Only I had the special flashlight needed to reveal it. But I lost it. Well, apparently he traded Jeff for the purple light bulb. Parted with his entire Halloween candy stash. Oh, Rollo. Now let's see here.
Kato began flipping through the pages, stopping when he hit a glowing word.
Get away with such a grift.
He continued flipping.
Only found in grub cart.
Reaching the end of the book, Kato looked up.
That's it. Grift in grub cart. Griffin. Griffin's grub cart. He wants me to go to the Griffin snack stand. Ah, brilliant. Guess you're off then. Good luck with the rest of the scavenger hunt. Thanks, Kato. This is elaborate. This is elaborate. Let's go make sure there's nothing over here. I want words. I really desperately want words. All right. There wasn't anything else the long way, so I skipped ahead. Hey, Griffin. Did Rollo come?
Before Luca could finish his sentence, Griffin handed him a corn dog.
Oh, that's it? Bought and paid for. Enjoy. I thought there was supposed to be a riddle or something.
Luca shrugged, taking a sizable bite out of the corn dog.
Yuck! It's cold. Oh yeah, it's been sitting here for a while. Rollo wanted me to make sure you give me that one specifically. Well, that's just...
Luca tongued at his cheeks, feeling something rough between his teeth. He reached into his mouth and pulled out a slip of paper.
Says winner. Oh, come on.
He shook off the bits of corn dog to read the slip.
A pickup when you need some pep. Near the fountain, up the step.
Luca finished off the remainder of the corn dog.
This is getting to be a whole thing. There you are, Luca. There's no way I'm actually doing this. It's way below my pay grade. Oh, come on, you big stiff. Let the kids have some fun. Fine. But Rollo owes me one.
Lumi waved his hands around sarcastically as he began.
What takes flight but has no wings? Your final task of friendship brings. See, that wasn't so hard. I don't like that. It feels cheapened somehow. I think it's sweet. Good luck, Luca. No wings. Balloons. Hey! Hey. Did you find the comic book? Yep. And you got the corn dog? Yep. Well then, I know it doesn't make up for what I said, but here, you've earned this.
Rollo sheepishly handed Luca the balloons.
Ooh, lots of words, though. Words make up for it. Thanks. You didn't have to go to all this trouble. Oh, I'm so sorry. I got so mad. Dang it, we were supposed to let me apologize first. Oh, sorry. Now you apologized twice before me. Just let me do this. Luca, I'm real sorry. With everything that's happened, with your mom and all, I've always wanted to be there for you. Be a good friend, you know? When you said you were hanging out with someone else, I kind of freaked out. Rolo. Still my turn. I felt like if you needed some new friend to help you, it meant that I wasn't good enough. But that was selfish and wrong. I was wrong. I'm so sorry, Luca. Okay, apology over. You can talk now.
Luca threw himself at Rolo, hugging him as tightly as he could.
Rolo, I don't deserve you. I don't deserve you either. That's why we deserve each other. So, what else you want to do today? Snoop around and try to find some info about your mom. Snoop where? Probably sneak into Perennial Harvest HQ while everyone's at the festival. Aren't you curious about all the stuff those clipboards write down? What if we get caught? I think I've had enough excitement for 1 week. Let's just make the rest of this day about us. Really? Yeah, the rest of the world can wait one more day. Nothing will happen by the end of today that would have been solved by us investigating. That would be silly, you know? I have been wanting to get some work done on the MCDC mission control. The aim's a bit unpredictable. It sounds perfect. Seems like everyone remains having had been talked to, have had how talked already, have been to already-ish. Oh, I almost forgot. I ran into your gran this morning. She asked me to give you this.
Rolo handed Luca an unopened letter.
I'll wait for you inside if you want to read it now. A letter?
Luca, some things are going to happen that might be difficult for you to understand. If I am honest, I hardly understand them myself, but whatever happens, I need you to know that I love you. None of this is fair to you. You have already lost so much. We both have. I wish there was a simpler way forward. But if there is, I haven't thought of it. God knows I've tried. Everything I've done, I did for you.
I don't know about that.
I hope someday you can accept that. Love, Gran.
This seems like a pretty conceited, self-serving sort of, I did all this for you. I love you too, Gran.
Luca folded the paper into his pocket and headed up the ladder.
What's up with the letter? Anything you want to talk about? Maybe later. Sure, whatever you want. You know, you really didn't have to go all that trouble just to apologize. I know, but I've been looking to the festival for weeks. And I ruined everything with my big mouth. Yeah, this is just the best way to make sure you still had a good time without me. Roll low.
Luca was at a loss for words, but that was fine. Words aren't always necessary.
Festival seemed nice. Was it nice? We can still go. Nah, this is fine. Well, there's always next year.
Sadly,
And definitely
this was
not
untrue.
the end of the world tonight.
A distant rumble shook the treehouse.
Huh? What was that? Oh man, we missed the fireworks.
It was not fireworks. It was something the boys couldn't possibly comprehend. Something as old and cruel as time itself.
Gran! Hey, 3 ices!
A shockwave of cold tore through the room. A bitter, unfathomable chill. Before they could react, it encased them in ice. 2 boys, reunited by friendship, only to be cruelly separated by a malevolence beyond reason. And so, our story ends on this melancholy scene. In a silent treehouse turned statuary, in a town brought low by its secrets, sits a pair of friends, alone, together, for the rest of time. The end.
There are worse endings to a story, I suppose, though we kind of didn't get any answers.
No, that can't be the ending. It simply can't. I won't accept it, and I hope you won't either. There are more endings, more possibilities. I can feel it. We are just going to have to sort through them all until we find the one that fits.
All right. So that's going to have to be us for now. We'll have to look at a few more of our answers and paths next time, but that leaves us on a good mystery. Let's see what happens next time. Thanks for joining. Like, subscribe, comment, all the YouTube things. Have a good one. Bye.